Hi guys, how y'all doing today? Okay, today I want to talk about something I'm coming back to. Over the last year I've been revisiting my gear and asking, is this really what I want to do? How about things I did in the past? Do they work better than this? For many years, I carried my knives and my gear like this on top of a U.S. military web belt. It worked very well. The belt was wide, so it didn't dig into me. It stayed above my hips, so it rode well. It didn't pinch or bind me. And yet I could carry my gear on me, and it was comfortable like that. I could move my gear around in position as I needed it. But at the same time, if I wanted to completely change up the pattern, it was very simple. Well, initially I'd done it the military style where it locked in place. Well, that didn't work for me very well because I like to custom. Right now I want it this way. Tomorrow I may want it that way. Like right now I'm wearing it where I've got my belt knife, my Master Woodsman prototype, right there. Easy to get to, easy to get back. I may want to shift that over to this hip for cross draw. Right behind it I'm running my kukri because that's my chopper. I'm cleaning out some vines and doing some trail work right now. So therefore I may want to shift that to the front or shift it over here. By having just a straight belt I can just slide it on to where I get. Over here is my canteen, which is that grail. And then there's my haversack. My haversack, as you can see, locks behind the canteen. So when I do this, it don't fall. It stays there. Yet I can just lift my hand back and go right into it. It stays on that butt cheek on that hip. So even when I go up here and squat, it don't interfere with me. Now the belt I'm using right now I got from Randy at Stitch Gear. It's just a very heavy leather belt. I don't know if I can get close enough for you to see how thick that is. And that's an old buckle I've had since I was 8 years old. But I told Randy I wanted a very heavy duty belt. I wanted a heavy gun belt that I could carry my gear on. And he provided me with this, and I also bought a couple of holsters at the same time. But I've been real impressed with it. It really works. And I'm coming back to where I was 20, 30 years ago, where I wore a duty belt. Now what's the advantage of this? I can take it off and all my stuff stays on the belt. So I'm going to sit down and I'm going to have me a meal. I'm going to be here for 20, 30, 40 minutes, an hour. I'm going to stretch out my hammock because, as you know, in my haversack I carry a shelter set. I've got a hammock, a tarp, everything. I think Blackie deserves a nap. Well, if this was on my regular belt, my pants belt, I got to feel everything off. With this I can unhook and hang it on the tree at the front, hang my haversack on the other end or the same end, and I can have me a hammock up and be snoozing in 10 minutes flat or less, and be reset up and going again in 10 minutes flat or less. So it's a real time saver having it on a utility belt like this. There's a reason Batman had a utility belt. It's because he could also put stuff in it, take it off, and so the bad guys could think they were outsmarting him when they got his utility belt. Utility belts are a real asset. So when I go home, I unhook this and it goes on a peg. And the knife of choice today, my kukri, my axe, whatever I'm carrying right here, my canteen or my whatever stays connected so I can get to it. In this position I can easily pull the canteen up and out for me to get water and put it back without having to worry about it. I can sit down and have a meal right quick just by dropping it off and laying it on the ground in front of me. It's an advantage. Now, in your gear, how does your gear ride? How do you carry yours? Don't think mine is the only way. This is just Blackie's way for Blackie. Your way may be just as good, if not better, for you. But take the time to work out the details. Now, if I was carrying a sidearm right now, like my cap and balls or a modern handgun, it would be riding where? If I expect to be using it in a hunting situation, whatever, it's going to be right here in my right hand, in which case this knife goes over here to cross draw, the kukri goes back behind it, out of the way. Well, I want to carry it, but I'm not expecting to use it. I'm going to be using the knife 10 to 1. Well, it might ride cross draw right here in the front and move the canteen further back around. Or move the canteen all the way back here to this hip and let the haversack ride in. You see what I'm saying? I can shift to fit the situation quickly and easily. And all it is sliding it on and on this belt, which I can take off and lay on the ground. I'm not, okay, hold on, let me feed it through there. Much faster and simpler. Find out what works with your gear for you. Now when I'm carrying a long gun or a shotgun, I'll have a small compass pouch clip right here or right here that will have ammunition, so I got easy access to it. What am I using? What am I expecting to using? What may I have to use? I want those up front. Now notice also where this is sitting. If I fall backwards, haversack is going to be what hits on that hip. Flat part of a sheath of kukri is going to land on this hip. This should not dig into me. So I'm protecting my kidneys, my sciatic, and my pelvis should I take a bad fall. You know, we always said you didn't put a canteen directly in the center of your back, because if I fell backwards and landed flat on my back, it's a fulcrum and I could do severe back damage. So I moved them to the side. Little things make your life so much better. Hope you enjoyed this, guys. Please leave any questions or comments below. And if you hadn't, please hit that like and subscribe button for me. I'd really appreciate it. Till next time, I'm Blackie, wishing you safe journeys. Have a great day, guys.